Here we go. Oh boy.
Welcome back to Boxwood Avenue. If this is your first time here, my name is Chloe. In my last video, we completely reorganized my kitchen, and now I'm taking you into my pantry so that I can organize everything that's behind the cupboards there. My pantry is definitely something that I don't keep very organized. It's a little bit messy. There's really no rhyme or reason. The cupboards are stuffed full, and I'm not really looking forward to doing this. So today we're going to open up those cupboards and hopefully develop some sort of system for organization and function in the pantry. So if you're ready, let's get started. Originally, I had planned to combine my kitchen organization and pantry organization in one because our pantry is really an extension of our kitchen. I have a blog post, I think, of the before, but before, when we first moved in, this is my husband's grandparents' house, so this was built in 1963. This pantry, it continued out to here, and then there's a dumbwaiter in here. The refrigerator was tucked back in the corner, and this actually where I'm standing was a hallway, and there was a wall dividing the kitchen. So when we remodeled, we really opened up the kitchen, and with our beautiful stove and no upper cabinets, I really didn't want to put the refrigerator in the kitchen because I felt that it would really take away from the beauty aspect. And since the pantry is really open now, we took out the pocket door that used to be here, the pantry doesn't feel very far away. It really feels like it's a part of the kitchen. I get a lot of questions from readers asking if having the refrigerator in the pantry feels cumbersome or awkward, and it definitely doesn't. It really does feel just like a natural workflow of the kitchen. It doesn't feel awkward at all. Originally, I really wanted to add some open shelving in here too, but towards the end of the renovation, I think both my husband and I were just kind of tapped out. We were ready to be done with it, and so we never added the floating shelves, and I wish that we would have just done it because now it's something that I kick myself, and I think that we will add eventually, but getting a contractor back out here or my dad up here to do it is just one of those things that we keep putting off because the way that our floating shelves are, we have to go into the studs and weld brackets, and it's a whole big thing. It's not something that I can just do myself. So you'll see as I take you in here that the microwave and the toaster are just on the counter in the coffee maker, and having the floating shelves to elevate those items off the countertop I think would be super helpful. You might notice that we have two coffee makers. I use the espresso maker, and then my husband uses the coffee maker. So his coffee maker is in here next to our cups, and our cups are on this like vintage bottle drying rack that I found when I was antiquing in, where was I? High Point in North Carolina, and I brought it home, and I just love it. It's not the most functional item, but whatever. Sometimes beauty trumps function. So we have our cups hanging on this rack, and then on the opposite side we have our microwave and our toaster, and I'd love to have floating shelves just to elevate those off the countertop. I think it would make it look so much more organized and put together, so eventually that's something that I will do. With that said, the items in our pantry are kind of jumbled up. I have all my baking supplies in here and canned goods, and then everyday items like cereals and things like that. I also keep our liquor, our coffee mugs, jars, and then oversized items above the refrigerator too. And it just doesn't flow very well, so today I'm going to tackle it. I'm going to take out our Tupperware and things like that. I have a couple drawers that I emptied out in my last video if you saw. So I think that I'm going to take our Tupperware, take it out, our glass jars, and take it out, and that way we'll open up some more room in our pantry for the items that have to be in there, like cereals and flour and baking goods and that sort of thing. So with all of that said, take a big deep breath and get ready to go in here because I know that this is going to be a chore, and I'm excited to take you along with me.
Let's turn on the light and get started. Okay.
So I'm going to start by just taking everything out. I'm going to group like items together and sort of categorize everything, take inventory, make sure that everything has a place and a home, and donate some things and get rid of anything that might be expired. So what I've done first is I've emptied out this shelf. This kind of has the most like miscellaneous items in this basket. And then I decided, I used to keep my mason jars in here, and I decided to take out the mason jars and put those in the kitchen because I really do use those very often, and it makes more sense to have them in the kitchen. So those are going in the kitchen, and then I'm going to put all my baked goods in the bottom, which is pretty organized now, and then up here will be jams and jellies and any sweet sauces that I have. That way I free up some room in here. I've started by emptying some of these out and just kind of organizing things. Like I'm going to organize things into different fats or butters. So I've got butter, like coconut oil, that sort of thing. I've got all my nuts and peanut butters down here, and then all my sweets down here, so that everything's sort of grouped together. So that when I'm going through my pantry and I'm trying to find a specific thing, like say peanut butter or something like that, I'll be able to know, okay, all my peanut butters go here, all my honey's here, all my nuts are here, and that way I just know where everything is, and there's a little bit more system and function in the pantry. I really like having lots of different sizes and varieties of glass jars so that I can empty nuts and pastas and oatmeal and cereals and that sort of thing into glass jars, just so that you can see what you have, and it makes everything feel a little bit prettier and a little bit more organized. Okay, we are done with this. Look how much space I have up there. I've got everything organized. I've got all my like little dried fruits and berries there. I've got sweetened condensed milk and cocoa powder there, canned goods, oils and spices and sauces. I use this protein powder almost every day, so I wanted to keep it really readily available. And then all of my flours and baking supplies and cereals and things like that go here. Okay, I'm starting to kind of move on from this area. I'll still organize it a bit more as I keep going, but I wanted to organize, this is my baking area. You can see I have leftover candy canes from Christmas, but this actually is pretty organized. I'm just going to organize it just a little bit more. So when I say this is organized, I mean that everything that's supposed to be there is there. It's just some of it has kind of gotten thrown in there. So I'm going to regroup everything so that the sprinkles are together, the frostings are together, chocolate chips are together, that sort of thing. Our Tupperware is in this cabinet, so I'm going to go in there and try and organize it a bit, and then tackle this area. All right, let's get started in here. This is decently organized, and I think I'll just keep this just how it is. We really don't have that much Tupperware. I really like, these are little silicone baggies. Oh, I love these. These are great. So I'm going to keep these down there. And then I'm going to see if I can just organize these lids a little bit better. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to. I love our glass Tupperware, so I'll put a link in the description below. I also love to keep takeout containers. I think it's just a great way to minimize your waste a little bit and recycle those. And then I've got this great wood little tote that I'm keeping all of my lids in. In here you can see I've got just some extra spices. These are kind of bulk spices that I use often. I like to keep backups, and some things that just didn't fit in my spice drawer. Over here is our coffee maker, and as you can see, this is a mess, but there's just like extra coffee, tea, no rhyme or reason to this area, so I'm going to organize this a little bit. We've got coffee in this drawer, and then in this drawer as well, so I'm going to combine the two, hopefully get this a little bit more organized. Next up, you'll see our mug situation, and we seem to just collect mugs. A lot of times people give us gifts that are mugs, so I'm going to probably pull some that we no longer use and donate some really old ones and organize this a little bit better. I almost forgot about the cupboard above the refrigerator, which as you can see is an absolute disaster. So I'm going to tackle that right now. In this cupboard we keep a lot of our barbecue stuff. I keep my crock pot, as you can see, and some other miscellaneous items, and it's just kind of gotten jumbled up. So I'm going to take some things out, vacuum, reorganize, just minimize the things that we keep up here. So I just finished organizing the pantry, and oh, does it feel good. I wasn't really looking forward to that project because I knew it wasn't going to be the most fun, but the payoff is really tenfold. I feel so much calmer. I know everything now in the kitchen has a place. I only have what I need. I was able to donate so many things that we haven't used in years and tossed some things that had been expired for years, which I found in the pantry. Everything is organized, so if I need almond butter, or if I need nuts for my salad, or if I need some honey for tea or something like that, everything has a place, and then I know exactly where to put it back. If somebody gifts us some more honey or gifts us some syrup or something, I'm not just gonna throw it in the pantry and then have it expire or not be used. And so I have to say, it feels really, really good. I hope that this inspired you to get up and get in your pantry and sort through things that maybe you've pushed back to the back of your cupboards for years. I promise you, it feels really good. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't checked out my kitchen video yet, I hope that you go watch that. And don't forget, you can always visit me at boxedavenue.com.